Hello, everyone, and welcome to our explanation of our CLI app, our first attempt at a CLI app.
My name's Samantha Phipps.
And my name is Seth Maisel. And here we're going to demonstrate some of the things that we have created for this CLI app, starting with our README.
So, some background into this project. We're currently students at the Flatiron School, and we have just completed our first module. So, a part of each module will be creating a project that incorporates a lot of the things that we have learned. So, within this CLI app, some of the things that you'll see are Ruby, as well as database, active record, and SQL.
And to tell you a little bit about what this application is, we have created a text-based RPG that involves lots of different character options and a lot of user inputs that get included into the individual storylines. Each character has individual abilities, individual storylines, and an entertaining combat mechanic featuring a virtual dice roll, so you never know quite how it's going to go.
So some things that you'll need to know about this application, we have used some gems, so you'll want to make sure that these are inputted into your computer. So two different ways you can do that is to do a gem install and then the name of the gem. So I'll do SQLite 3 in this case. And then you'll need to do that for each and every one of these gems. Another way that you can just do it in one swoop is to do a bundle install, and that should take care of putting all of these gems within there. Some other things that you'll need to know, since this does include a database, you'll need to do a DB migrate. So what you'll type in is a rake DB migrate, and that will make sure that all of our database tables are within there. The next thing that you'll need to do is a rake DB seed, because we do have our characters within the database. So in order to see everything, you need to make sure that it is put within our database. And then once you are done with that, you can go ahead and get started. And what you'll want to do is do a Ruby runner.rb, or if you want to not see the warnings that are included because we have used active record, include the dash capital W0 within the middle of the two words.
Now that we're running that, our application begins. And first off, you're asked to choose a character. There are 3 different options that you can go with. And you can name your character. That will show up in your individualized story. Each character has their own abilities, their own weapons, and you can personalize the name. That will show up in your story, and you can read through all of that. You can choose what weapon you want to use as you go into your first encounter. And as you can see, your username is capitalized and put directly into the story several times. And then there's the virtual dice roll that takes into account your damage, your weapon's damage, your villain's damage, and then subtracts those all to give you your current health and your enemy's current health. And as we go through, there we go. When your enemy's health reaches 0 or below, you have won. You can put in your victory cry. 1. And you get your individualized, including your individualized ending, including your victory cry, uses of the username, and then it asks if you'd like to try again. In this case, we will, so we can demonstrate what happens if you lose.
So in this case, we're going to select our peasant character. And incidentally, what you'll see is there are 2 different weapon choices, and you have the wood axe or the herbal supplement. So the herbal supplement will add to your health. Incidentally, if you choose the wood axe straight through, more than likely you will lose.
And yep, depending on the dice roll, here we go, the villain has won, you're dead.
Here you're inputting your last words,
which are then incorporated into the villain's victory. and you're prompted to play again.
So on our last run through, what we're going to do is show what comes up should you choose the runaway option. You'll no doubt have noticed that it does come up with each character. It is a choice on what you will do if you encounter your villain.
And you can choose runaway at any point during the combat, but we're going straight there.
And then what will happen is our runaway message will show up and you will be prompted if you want to play again. In this case, we're not going to. We've run through most of our options and you'll be returned back to your terminal. So some of the things that we ran into during our coding of this are we did have a occurrence where we did our play again option. And funny enough, when we chose runaway for one run through and then when we hit play again, what would happen is despite choosing the weapon, you would get the runaway message. And part of that was because we did not reset our variables that we used. So make sure that you reset your variables if you use a play again option.
Another thing that took a little while to work out, we wrote quite long, interesting stories for these characters, so I recommend you play through everybody and figuring out how to break into new lines using using quotes. There's a lot of quoted text in there, characters speaking that require quotes, how to work that in along with our string notation, making sure that the lines broke when we wanted them to. Took a little bit of extra work, and changing around colors, all sorts of other stuff. So I hope this lays out some of the interesting problems we ran into, some of the fun things that we learned while doing it, and I hope you have a good time with our program. Please play through and enjoy. Thank you.